Live from New Delhi, you're watching the India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Russian President Vladimir Putin calls Prime Minister Narendra Modi, strongly condemns terror attack in Pahalgam, India. India formally asks Asian Development Bank ADB to stop funding Pakistan. Rajnath Singh discusses defence cooperation and regional security with his Japanese counterpart. Leaders also emphasize the need for enhanced collaboration in the fight against terror. Conservatives of Germany's designated Chancellor Friedrich Merz and centre-left Social Democrats formally signed coalition contract on the eve of launching their new government. Russian President Vladimir Putin has called Prime Minister Narendra Modi and strongly condemned the Pahalgam terror attack. President Putin conveyed deepest condolences on the loss of innocent lives and expressed full support to India in the fight against terrorism. He emphasized that the perpetrators of the heinous attack and their supporters must be brought to justice. Both leaders reiterated their commitment to further deepen India-Russia special and privileged strategic partnership. Prime Minister Narendra Modi conveyed greetings to President Putin on the celebration of the 80th anniversary of Victory Day and invited him for the annual summit to be held in India later in the year. In a big development, India has appealed to the Asian Development Bank ADB to stop funding Pakistan. The Indian delegation, led by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, met ADB President Masato Kanda, where India's formal appeal was conveyed to the ADB to stop funding for Pakistan. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman also met the Finance Minister of Italy. Both the leaders discussed creating international pressure on Pakistan. India's Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Nirmala Sitharaman, is on a visit to attend the annual meeting of the Asian Development Bank in Milan, Italy. On the sidelines of the ADB annual meeting, Finance Minister Sitharaman held a bilateral meeting with Masato Kanda, President of the Asian Development Bank. Sitharaman emphasized India's push for private sector-led growth, backed by reforms like the GST, corporate tax cuts and infrastructure projects. She invited ADB to explore new financing models in India. Kanda reaffirmed ADB's commitment to support India's development vision, inspired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's goal of a developed India, Viksit Bharat 2047. India has officially stopped all trade with Pakistan, reinforcing that the decision will not affect the country's export sector or overall economy. Dr. Ajay Sahai, Director General and CEO of the Federation of Indian Export Organizations, assured businesses that the move presents an opportunity for India to explore new markets and expand trade boundaries.
We have virtually stopped all trade with Pakistan, and even if you look into the past, the trade has been minimal. In fact, in the last first 10 months of the fiscal year, between April to January, we had a trade of around less than $500 million. India's export was around $445 million, and import from Pakistan was less than $500,000. So there is nothing where it will impact Indian exports and Indian economy. The two products which we are exporting significantly are the organic chemicals and pharma, and India has the alternative markets available for both these products. We have a very vibrant domestic market, and I can assure the Indian industry that in any way they will not be impacted. Probably this will be an opportunity. They will diversify and look into some more lucrative market for their products.
Global ratings firm Moody's said in a note that a persistent increase in tensions could also impair Pakistan's access to external financing and pressure its foreign exchange reserves. It also said that it sees India's macroeconomic conditions to be stable. Moody's said that a persistent increase in tensions could also impair Pakistan's access to external financing and pressure its foreign exchange reserves, which remain well below what is required to meet its external debt payment needs for the next few years. India's Defence Secretary met Prime Minister Narendra Modi earlier today as per sources. Separate meetings were also held between Prime Minister Modi and Chief of Air Staff Air Chief Marshal A.P. Singh and Navy Chief Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi at his residence over the weekend. This follows a high-level meeting chaired by Prime Minister Modi earlier last week, which was attended by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan and the 3 security chiefs. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval was also present at the meeting. Meanwhile, India has announced a series of measures, including putting the Indus Water Treaty in abeyance to send a strong message to Pakistan for its support to cross-border terrorism. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today held bilateral meeting with his Japanese counterpart General Nakatani in New Delhi. Both sides exchanged views and ideas on the current regional and international security situation and discussed ways to further deepen the bilateral defence cooperation. The two sides condemned terrorism in all its forms and emphasized the need for enhanced collaboration and joint efforts to counter cross-border threats. General Nakatani expressed solidarity with India in the wake of the Pahalgam attack and offered full support to India.
I recall our meeting at Vientiane, Laos in November last year, where we decided to expand defense cooperation in industry, technology, and interoperability between the armed forces. At the outset, I would like to thank the government of Japan for their strong expression of solidarity with India in the wake of the Pahalgam terrorist attack.
Further, Rajnath Singh noted that India shares a special strategic and global partnership with Japan.
Excellency, I take this opportunity to compliment you for your immense contribution in deepening of the Indo-Japan defense relations. You had earlier laid foundations for a strong bilateral defense partnership by concluding defense equipment and technical cooperation agreement and the protection of classified military information agreement.
Earlier, the visiting Japanese dignitary, General Nakatani, laid a wreath at the National War Memorial. General Nakatani was also accorded a Guard of Honor. India and Japan share a long-term friendship which has further gained qualitative momentum after the elevation of the collaboration to special strategic and global partnership in 2014. Defence and security are important pillars of the ties between the two countries. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met Fukushiro Nukaga, the Speaker of House of Representatives of Japan, on Monday in Delhi. The Speaker was accompanied with his parliamentary colleagues and business delegation. The Indian minister thanked the Speaker for his expression of solidarity and support on the Pahalgam terrorist attack. Jaishankar also appreciated Nukaga's leadership in developing the natural partnership between India and Japan. Both leaders agreed to develop the agenda of increasing talent exchanges, enhancing business linkages and building technology partnership between the two nations. On to Europe now. Leaders of Germany's conservative CDU, CSU and centre-left Social Democratic Party on Monday signed a coalition agreement on the eve of launching a new government. The latest development in Germany paved the way for the formation of a new federal government. Germany's designated Chancellor Friedrich Merz is set to be sworn in as the new leader of Europe's biggest economy and ending half a year of political paralysis in Berlin. The CDU-CSU alliance of Merz and their future junior partners, the Social Democrats, SPD, vowed to revive the ailing economy and rebuild the military. Lars Klingbeil from the Social Democratic Party of Germany is appointed the upcoming Vice-Chancellor and Finance Minister, while Boris Pistorius from the SPD is set to remain as the Defense Minister.
Den Bürgerinnen und Bürgern heute von dieser Stelle aus sagen:
I would like to take this opportunity to say to the citizens today that if I am elected tomorrow and the cabinet members are subsequently confirmed, you will have a government that is determined to move Germany forward with reforms and investments, a government that will take the concerns of the people in our country seriously.
Eine Regierung.
Next updates on the Israel-Hamas conflict. The Israeli Security Cabinet, led by the country's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, has approved a gradual expansion of the military offensive against Hamas in Gaza. This development comes amid heightened tensions and significant military build-up, with tens of thousands of reservists being called up to intensify the operation. The Israeli army aims to destroy Hamas's infrastructure both above and below the ground, while increasing pressure to secure the return of hostages. Meanwhile, a new plan for aid distribution in Gaza has also been approved, although the timing of aid delivery remains unclear. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed a response to Yemen's Houthis and their Iranian backers after the group struck the area of Israel's main airport, injuring 8 people. Several international airlines suspended flights to Israel, and hours after the strike, Yemen's Houthis, who claimed responsibility for the attack, promised more such strikes and warned airlines to cancel their flights to Israeli airports.
As far as the trade routes, obviously we're being challenged. The whole world is being challenged by the Houthis, including in the dastardly attack they did today near Ben Gurion Airport. We will not tolerate it. We will take very strong action against them. And we always remember that they act with their patron Iran's direction and support. We will do what we need to do to take care of our security, to respond effectively, and to give Iran a due warning that this cannot continue.
In another update, Iran has unveiled a new solid-fuel ballistic missile. Terming it Iran's latest defense achievement, Iran's state television reported the solid propellant Qasem Basir ballistic missile has a range of at least 1,200 kilometers. The new missile was shown after Tehran and Washington held Oman-mediated talks on Iran's nuclear program on 3 consecutive Saturdays from April 12th. Iran has ruled out discussions with Washington on its military and defense capabilities, including its ballistic missile program. On to the US now. President Donald Trump has announced a 100% tariff on foreign-made films, aiming to revive America's dwindling film industry. Trump claims foreign productions are a national security threat and divert American filmmakers abroad with lucrative incentives. DD India's Antara Sinha has more.
In a move that's sending shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond, US President Donald Trump announced Sunday that he is ordering sweeping new tariffs on all films produced outside of the United States. Taking to his Truth Social platform, Trump declared a 100% tariff on foreign-made movies, citing what he called a devastating trend of American studios filming abroad. The movie industry in America is dying a very fast death, he wrote, adding, other countries are offering all sorts of incentives to draw our filmmakers and studios away. Trump characterized the situation as a threat not only to American culture but to national security itself. He directed the Department of Commerce and the United States Trade Representative to immediately begin implementing the measure. This comes just weeks after China announced it would cut back on the number of American films allowed into its domestic market. Protests have erupted in Los Angeles and Cannes alike, with critics calling the tariffs a blow to artistic collaboration and global cinema. As the world watches, the future of international cinema and America's role in it hangs in the balance. With little detail yet available and no clear implementation timeline, the film industry finds itself in a dramatic cliffhanger worthy of the big screen itself. Antara Sinha for DD India.
You're watching DD India Live, still to come on the show. Trump says Mexican president is afraid of cartels after she rejects his offer to send US troops to Mexico. Hard-right Eurosceptic George Simeon wins the first round of Romania's presidential election. And EU chief Ursula von der Leyen announces €500 million package to lure top researchers to Europe.
complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I am Tanvi Taneja. US President Donald Trump confirmed on Sunday that he'd offered to send US troops to Mexico to assist in combating drug trafficking. The offer was revealed by Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, who stated that she had declined the proposal. Trump explained that the offer stemmed from the severe impact of drug cartels, which have been responsible for thousands of deaths. Speaking aboard Air Force One, he emphasized that the US would have been honored to help if Mexico had requested assistance in tackling drug cartels. While Sheinbaum rejected the idea, citing Mexico's sovereignty, the offer reflects growing concerns over the rising influence of cartels in both the countries. As violence related to drug trafficking continues to escalate, discussions on international cooperation remain a contentious issue. And on to the Russia-Ukraine conflict now. On the possibility of a truce, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Sunday said that a ceasefire with Russia was possible at any moment. Zelensky called on his allies to apply greater pressure on Moscow, else Russian President Putin would not take any real steps to end the conflict. He added that a ceasefire should last at least 30 days to give diplomacy a real chance.
We believe that ceasefire is possible at any moment, even starting today, and should last for at least 30 days to give diplomacy a real chance.
Earlier, Putin announced a 3-day ceasefire over May 8th to 10th during commemorations of the anniversary of the end of the Second World War in Europe, saying it would test Kiev's readiness for a long-term ceasefire. To boost European science research, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen announced on Monday a €500 million incentive package as Europe hopes to lure top US scientists disgruntled with President Donald Trump. Speaking at the Choose Europe for Science conference in Paris, Ursula said that the €500 million package aims to make Europe a magnet for researchers. She also said she wanted EU member states to invest 3% of the gross domestic product in research and development by 2030. The announcement comes at a time when Trump administration is threatening to cut federal funding for Harvard and other US universities.
Science is an investment, and we need to offer the right incentives. This is why I can announce that we will put forward a new €500 million package for 2025 to 2027 to make Europe a magnet for researchers. This will help support the best and the brightest researchers and scientists from Europe and around the world. We aim to create a new 7-year super grant under the European Research Council, ERC, to help offer a longer-term perspective to the very best. Through the ERC, we are already supporting researchers who relocate to Europe with a top-up beyond their grant. We are now doubling the amount they can receive this year, and I want to extend this support for 2026 and 2027.
Eurosceptic George Simeon emerged victorious in the first round of Romania's presidential election rerun on Sunday as per partial results. The election, viewed as a measure of the growing influence of Trump-style nationalism within the European Union, saw Simeon leading with around 40% of the vote. Bucharest Mayor Nicusar Dan came in second with approximately 21% votes. Simeon described his victory as a triumph for Romanian dignity, symbolizing hope and belief.
Mă înclin.
I bow to the Romanians outside the country's border who turned out to vote in large numbers. and traveled hundreds of kilometers to show that they are proud because they are Romanians. I will remain devoted to them in everything I do because it is not my victory but the victory of the Romanian people. I will keep my word because Romania needs his wisdom and vision and because I do not want power for myself.
poporului român.
If final results, including votes from the diaspora, confirm this trend, the two will face off in a runoff on May 18th. Benefiting from a wave of popular anger against mainstream leaders, Simeon opposes military aid to neighboring Ukraine, criticizes EU leadership and says he is aligned with US President's Make America Great Again MAGA movement. In Bangladesh, a Chittagong court ordered that Chinmoy Krishnadas Brahmachari, a former leader of ISKCON who is currently in prison, be shown arrested in the case filed over the murder of lawyer Saiful Islam Alif. The order was issued on Monday by Chittagong Metropolitan Magistrate S.M. Alauddin Mahmood following a virtual hearing. Chinmoy Das was virtually produced before the court from jail, but no defense lawyer was present on his behalf. And next we take a look at other stories making news across the world today. Catholic cardinals gathered at the Vatican on Monday for the General Congregation to discuss the selection of the next pope. Following the death of the previous pope, cardinals worldwide are in Rome for their daily meetings to discuss church matters and the desired qualities of the new pontiff. The 135 cardinals will enter the Sistine Chapel on Wednesday to begin the process of electing the new leader of the 1.4 billion member Catholic Church. Mongolian universities are jointly hosting an international congress on Asian studies. The event facilitates the exchange and research and experiences among domestic and foreign scholars, promoting international projects and educational advancements. The Congress aims to address issues and foster future collaboration in Japanese, Korean, Chinese and Turkic studies. Formula One enthusiasts witnessed a unique spectacle before the Miami Grand Prix on Sunday as 10 near life-size replica F1 cars constructed entirely of Lego bricks took to the circuit. Crafted at the Lego Group's Kladno factory in the Czech Republic, the project spanned over 22,000 hours, each car comprising nearly 400,000 Lego bricks and weighing 1,000 kg is capable of reaching speeds of 20 kilometers per hour. India's mineral and metal production continues its upward trajectory, with several sectors registering robust growth in the fiscal year 2024-25. According to provisional data, the record production levels achieved in the previous fiscal year highlighting sustained strong demand across various user industries. Iron ore, which constitutes a significant 70% of the total MCDR mineral production by value, has once again broken its previous production record. The non-ferrous metal sector also showcased strong performance. Primary aluminium production reached a new high of 42 lakh tons. These production figures underscore India's prominent position in the global mineral and metal landscape. The nation currently holds the rank of the second largest aluminium producer. And on to some sporting action now. First, updates from IPL cricket. Delhi Capitals will aim to revive their playoff hopes and break the two-match losing streak when they face a struggling Sunrisers Hyderabad in a must-win IPL 2025 clash on Monday. Akshar Patel's side, currently 5th with 12 points from 10 games, have relied heavily on away games. Akshar Patel's fitness remains a concern after he bruised his left hand in the previous game against Kolkata Knight Riders. While KL Rahul and Abhishek Purell have led Delhi's batting, their inability to accelerate at crucial moments has been costly. Meanwhile, Sunrisers Hyderabad, despite having big names like Pat Cummins, Mohammad Shami, Travis Head, Henrik Clausen, have failed to click. With both teams desperate for points, the match promises high stakes and intensity. And next, updates from the day one matches of Kabaddi, football and volleyball at the 7th edition of the Khelo India Youth Games underway in Bihar. In boys Kabaddi, hosts Bihar outclassed Goa 88-14 in a one-sided affair in their opening match. In girls football, Jharkhand annihilated Rajasthan 8-0 in under-18 event in group stage. In boys volleyball, Rajasthan defeated Manipur 3-2 in their group encounter on the opening day of the Khelo India Youth Games. This is the first time that Bihar is hosting the Khelo India Games. Over 8,500 athletes from all states and UTs are participating in this event. Competitions are being held across 5 cities in Bihar. Overall, athletes will showcase their sporting skills in 28 disciplines. And with that, we wind up this edition of DD India Live. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And you can also download our DD India mobile app for quick news and updates on the go. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.